Hi, welcome to Mastering R. My name is Matt. Today in this video, we're going to talk about a few different ways to join data tables together in R. Let's get started. Alrighty, so let's jump over to the code. We're going to jump right into this. So before we get too far into it, though, I do want to mention that this is, you can think of this more as a bit of a introduction to how to join data tables together in R. We're going to go over 3 different methods. We're going to keep it pretty basic for now. There are many different Stack Overflow posts, vignettes, etc., that are out there that go into a lot more depth. We're going to load a couple packages, so tidyverse and data.table, to give you a hint at where we're going next. And then we're going to create some data. And so here I'm creating data frames that are 100,000 rows. All right, and so for the first method, we're going to use base R's built-in function called merge. And so I'm going to keep it basic, and we're going to look at left joins, right joins, and inner joins. So for the left join, we're just going to call this function merge. We're going to pass in our first data frame, our second data frame, and we're going to specify which variable we're going to use to join the 2 data frames together. And if we pop open this first data frame here, we have 2 columns. First column is X and the second column is Y1. Similarly, for our second data frame, we have X and Y2. And so we can see that in these 2 data frames, the column they have in common is X. If we jump back over to our code, we're going to see that that is the column that we're going to use to join by. And then for the left join, we're going to specify all.x equals true. And if we run this, take a look at our output, what we should expect is that every value from X that is in the left data frame, so that's FD1, is going to still be in our resulting data frame. Wherever there are matches in our second data frame, so FD2, we're going to see a value in this Y2 column. Where there are not, we're going to see NA values. So what it does is it keeps everything in the left data frame and only brings in what matches in the right data frame. So similarly, when we do our right join, we're going to see something similar, but the opposite. So everything that's in our right data frame is going to be kept in the data set. So we still have 100,000 rows. But anything that matches in the left data frame will be brought in as Y1. So you can kind of think of this as really just another left join if we would just switch these 2 data frame positions. And finally, we're going to look at the inner join. So the inner join essentially is going to, instead of keeping, everything in the left data frame for the left join or everything in the right data frame for the right join, only going to keep everything that matches in both data frames. So if we run this, we will see that our data frame is much smaller. Our resulting data frame now is 10,000 rows instead of 100,000 because there are only 10,058 rows that match in both the left and the right data frames. This is again using the merge function from base R that is automatically loaded when you fire up a session of R. So you can see here that merge comes from the base R package. All right, and so moving on to data.tables. I'll be honest, this is going to be the package that I'm least comfortable with. I use it on occasion if I'm working on data sets that are extremely large and speed is of the essence. And so this might be in a scenario where I'm building a Shiny dashboard and I'm doing a lot of data manipulation on large data sets and I want it to move fast when someone clicks a button so that the wait time is negligible. The reason that it's not my favorite is I just honestly don't like the syntax. For my purposes, I prefer to use something like the tidyverse. Just to give you guys an idea of how to do this, it's going to look very similar, basically exactly the same as the base R way. And I know there are multiple ways to join data in data.table, but I'm just going to use the merge method. So if we were to type in data.table and look at merge, we would see that the data.table package has a method. And I'm not going to get into the details of what methods are, but essentially it allows you to use the base R merge function on data.tables. And so we can see here that if we just run this as.data.table on our data frames, we will create these data frames as data.tables. And we can see also here what I'm doing is setting a key. And so basically I'm just saying that for each of these data.tables, the key is going to be X. And this allows us to not have to specify the joining variable when we call merge. And I think it's also faster when doing these joins. I'm going to run that. If we just look at this really quick, we can see now that this is a data.table, so DT. And if we look up here, just for reference, these are data frames. And so similarly, we run merge. This is going to be a bit faster because we've set the key, but it's going to give us the exact same result as above. So everything for the left join, everything in the left table, it remains, and anything in the right table that matches is brought in. Similar for right join, and again with the inner join, we're keeping only the rows that match in both. Alrighty. The final method, this is going to be my preferred method. The ease of use and syntax just makes a lot more sense to me with dplyr and the tidyverse in general. And so for left join, we're going to call a function called left join. For right join, we're going to call right join, and for inner join, we're going to call inner join. And to me, that's just a lot simpler than having to remember all.x is a left join, all.y is a right. It's just more intuitive to me. And obviously, everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own preferences. And so, I'm sure that there are good reasons for preferring one over the other. In fact, if you do have a good reason or a thought about it, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always up to learn more. So jumping back into this dplyr code. So left join, you just pass in the left data frame, the first data frame, the second data frame, and just specify what we're joining by. If we run this, we're going to see the exact same thing as what we saw before. We have 100,000 rows, results in a data frame, similar to the BaseR approach. And we have everything in the left data set, as well as whatever matches in the right. Similar with right join, and once again with inner join, 10,058 rows, and only where they match for both the left and the right data frame. All right, well, that's it for this video. Again, like I said, I'm keeping it basic on purpose. I didn't want to get into too much detail. There are obviously many other types of joins. There's rolling joins, there's anti-joins, there's a number of different joins. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. That'll help me know that people are interested in this and that I should continue to keep making these videos. If you have an idea for a future video, leave it down in the comments. And again, like I said before, if you have any thoughts on why you prefer one method over the other, leave that in the comments as well. And also for all you data.table people out there, let me know a better way to join. If you're familiar at all with data.table and joining, you'll know that there was a vignette promised a long time ago that still has not materialized. So anyways, thank you so much for checking out this video, and we'll see you next time.